Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. This is Cook with NAKIE and a happy new year to everybody. Yes, I know I'm late, but we are still in January, so it's still the new year. I wish everybody a happy new year and I hope everybody is doing well. On today's menu, we're making garden egg stew. This is a quick and easy but delicious one. Stay tuned and let's get started. For our ingredients, we need our garden eggs. You could use any garden eggs of your choice. I'm using the purple one. We also have our tomatoes, our fresh tomatoes, our scotch bonnet pepper, and our onion. And I blended all this together, and this is the consistency I got. I did not blend it to the smooth texture because I like it crushed when I'm making stews like that, but you could blend it to the smooth texture if you prefer. So we're going to start by heating up our red oil. You could use any oil of your choice. I'm going to let this heat for about 1 to 2 minutes. And I'm now going to be adding my stockfish. I have my momone, that's my stockfish, and I have my salted tilapia. So if you don't have any of the stockfish or the Kobe or the salted tilapia, you can still go ahead and make your stew without it. It's still going to come out really good. But if you have it in the stew, it gives the stew some flavor and the taste is so delicious. So try to get one, but if you're not, just do without it and you're still gonna have a good tasting stew. So as you can see, I'm trying to melt the momone in the oil, but the Kobe I'm not, because the Kobe I'm gonna take it out when it's a little bit fried. Because I still want to have some Kobe to chew, like the salted tilapia to chew on when the food is done, so I'm gonna take it out. But with the momone, it's still gonna melt anyway, so the momone adds the more flavor to the oil. So at this point, my Kobe has fried for about 5 minutes. I'm gonna take it out and I'm gonna add my sliced onions to it. So I just added my onions to the oil. I'm gonna let this fry for about 2 to 3 minutes. Then I'm gonna add my blended tomatoes, pepper, and onion to it. So my onions is ready now. I just added my blended tomatoes, onions, and pepper to it. I gave this a stir, and this is gonna be cooking for about 10 to 15 minutes. So whilst our stew is cooking, I'm gonna start working on my garden egg. So what I did is I took the head off, cut it into two, and I'm gonna be boiling this till it's soft. So our stew has been cooking for about 10 to 15 minutes now. As you can see, there's not a lot of moisture in it, and that's how I want it. So at this point, I'm just adding my baked fish. You could use any fish of your choice. I'm adding my baked croaker, baked mackerel, and some dry herrings to it. But any fish that you have, you could use it, but I like to use this type of fish when I'm making my garden egg stew. So I gave this a stir to make sure the fish is well covered with the stew, and I'm going to let this cook under low heat for about 10 minutes more. So my garden eggs is soft now, as you can see when I poke through it. Yeah, as you can see, yeah, that is soft. So that is ready now. So at this point, you could choose to blend it, but because I want it the traditional way, I'm gonna use my earthenware bowl to grind this. And the reason why I also use it, I don't want it too smooth. When I'm making garden egg stew, I want it like really chunky, so this is not even gonna be really smooth. So I just use the tapoli to just mash it to have that chunky texture. That's why I did not use the blender. But if you want it really smooth, yeah, you could go ahead and use your blender. And this is the texture I prefer. So this is done, and I'm going to continue with the rest of the garden egg. And this is the end result of the garden eggs. I'm going to put this aside and let's head back to our stew. As you can see, our stew is almost done. Look at it, there's not a lot of moisture in it, and that's how I prefer it when I'm making my garden egg stew or any kind of stew like that. So I'm not adding my shrimp tablet to it. This is optional. You could use any seasoning of your choice, or even you could omit it if you don't like it. And I'm giving this a stir to make sure everything is well mixed together. So at this point, I'm going to be adding this onion pearls to it. This is optional. I just found it in the store and I figured I could use it in this stew because it gives some texture to the stew. You could chew on it, especially when it's halfway done. So I figured I could use it. It's optional. If you don't have it, you don't have to use it, but it adds some lot of texture to this stew and it was really good. It's time for me to add my mashed garden eggs to it. As you can see, it's not that smooth. It's really chunky, and that's how I like it. It gives the stew some different taste when I make it this way, but you could mash it to the smooth texture if you prefer. So I'm giving this a stir to make sure the stew is well mixed together with the garden eggs. So I tasted for salt, and it's time for me to add my salt. I always like to add my salt to the last end just in case the seasoning that I added in the beginning has salt in it, so you don't want to overpower your stew with a lot of salt. Cover this and let it cook for about additional 5 minutes on low heat, and our stew is almost done. As you can see, it looks good already, right? It is almost done. So I'm gonna be adding this palm nut oil in the stew. So what I did was I made my palm nut soup one time and I scooped the oil and I saved it in my refrigerator. So with this kind of oil, it has a lot of flavors and I didn't want to use all the oil in making one stew. So what I do is when I make stew that requires red oil, I don't use it in the beginning because when I use it in the beginning, the flavor is going to be gone. So I always scoop it a little bit and I put it in the stew when the stew is almost done so I still have that flavor. So guys, do not throw away your red oil from your palm nut soup. It has a lot of flavor when you use it for your stews like this. Guys, you're gonna love it. So as you can see, I'm adding my Kobe, my salted tilapia I fried in the beginning. Yes, I told you if I added in the beginning, it was all gonna be gone and I won't have anything to chew on. So I always add it at the end. And our stew is ready now, guys. Look at that stew. It tastes really good. The flavor, the taste, everything from this stew was really good. I wish you were here to try this with me because I know you're gonna love it. Please give this a try and let me know how it turns out, especially with the palm nuts soup oil. Do not throw that away, guys. Use it for stews like this and you're gonna thank me later. And can you see the pearl onions? Guys, it was crunchy. It had some sweet taste to it. It was really good. And I had this too with my cocoyam. You could have it with rice, cassava, gari, plantain, anything you want to pair with. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it and I hope you're gonna give this a try and I know you're gonna love it. Please subscribe to the channel, like, share and comment. Until I come your way next time, this is Cook with NAKIE. Be good to yourself, be good to everybody. It goes a long way.